Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominic Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
All right, Rants of Izzo Show here on Spreely Media. Hang on. I'm not going to disrespect him by saying the GIMP is late. I'm just not going to do that. But he's adjusting. Matt Couch is apparently he spilled his tea, and yeah, we'll hear this one. It is Monday. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays, I guess. And you okay, dude?
Good, man. I'm officially handicapped this morning. It's fucking awesome.
Well, we don't want sticks in the background. Sorry, hang on, me. Got to turn that one off. What happened with your
Dude, just to show you. So I had some Chick-fil-A tea being delivered.
Yeah, okay.
And I was rolling across the floor with it and lost the gallon and had to chase it. It's fucking exciting.
Yeah.
In a wheelchair. Yeah.
Okay. All right, it's Monday. Let's get into shit. Do you know who Anita Broderick is? No, Juanita Broderick.
Yeah, she's a dear friend. She lives an hour away from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you explain for the audience who Juanita Broderick is, Matt?
She is a guy that Bill Clinton
She's a guy?
raped and pillaged. And she's got an amazing book called Put Some Ice on It, because she says when Bill Clinton left the hotel room, he literally tossed her a bag of ice and said, put some ice on it.
And that would be in refer to what?
Her vagina.
Okay.
And but yeah, she's been advocating against the Clinton family for decades. In fact, President Trump even had her sit front row in his debate with Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
And so yeah, but she's just a dear friend, but she is a firecracker, man. She says what she wants. She gives zero Fs. I mean, she's just a hell of a lady. She's almost 80 years old. She's like another mom to me.
Yeah.
She has done so much for me. I can't even explain how much she means to me in my life, Juanita Broderick.
All right, so I respect people's opinions and their views, right? But if we're going to go a weird direction today that might get you some heat, so we're going to separate this off the bat by saying this is not Matt Couch's view. He doesn't know what I'm bringing today. This is mine. And if Matt disagrees with me, that's how it's supposed to go, right? Matt and I respect each other so damn much.
Absolutely.
That I don't think we ever have disagreed on anything. But I'm not looking for you to arbitrarily agree with me. All right, so yesterday was George Floyd's birthday. A couple different things. I don't care if it was George Floyd's. Did she take the? No, she didn't. George Floyd's birthday. I don't give a shit. My position on the George Floyd was that Derek Chauvin, in my opinion, did worse than murder. He tortured George Floyd for 9 minutes. Oh, but the knee wasn't on the neck. If you could see from this view, man, you don't fucking get it if you're not a cop. You don't pin somebody down in a position when there are already cuffs on. The cuffs are on, the fight is off, right? Unless they're spitting, biting, kicking. He was doing none of that shit. Chauvin deserves the fucking rot in jail. Because you know what? He would have done that. He probably has done that to other people. The problem I have with the world was that when it first came out, of course everybody jumped the gun. I'm quick to defend law enforcement, but also chastise it. And then a year later, after everybody already attacked Chauvin, when it came back to Floyd had fentanyl in his system, the entire world went to he held a gun at a pregnant woman's stomach, and he had fentanyl in his system. And he died from that. It shows the goldfish-like attention of the American people and how quickly people flip on issues, worse than any other politician. I want to start there for a second. Am I talking out of my ass? Do you agree with me, disagree with me? Do you have your own views on anything with that whole situation? Because I'm gonna go from there in a second.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't have any disagreements because I've got too many friends on my investigations team that are, retired homicide detectives, SWAT guys. Most of my guys, their opinion is, and I'm getting our spaces up at the same time here for us.
You're
but
fine.
it's like,
don't worry about it.
Most of their opinion is that anybody who is actually a decent law enforcement officer, that situation never happens because they get his ass up and get him in the fucking car.
Yeah. Thank you.
You don't just let him lay there and squirm and scream and throw a fit like a toddler. you're a grown ass man and you've got training. You jerk his ass up, you get him cuffed, and you put him in the back of the fucking car. You don't leave it there and make it a spectacle for 20 minutes or however long it took. So all my guys, that's their opinion as well, that, Chauvin was a dumbass. It was excessive force, but nobody's excusing Floyd's background. Yeah, he's a 37-time felon or whatever the hell it is. But, optically, what the landscape as a police officer, what kind of scrutiny you're under. And so doing what he did in this environment, inexcusable, because there's just no point in it, if that makes sense.
Of course it makes sense like that. I know that about you. I'm going to ask a question now because I didn't know you knew Broderick. Is she Christian?
Yeah. I believe so. I mean, I've never really had that. That's a great question. I never really had that conversation with her, but I believe so.
Yeah, here's her tweet from yesterday on George Floyd's birthday. My sentiments on George Floyd's birthday. I hope the sorry SOB, which stands for son of a bitch, rots in hell.
I mean, I guess she's entitled to her opinion on that. I mean, I think it's one of those things where, it's hard for me to have sympathy for a guy who held a pregnant woman at gunpoint with a gun to her belly, and asked her if she wanted her kid to die. While his thug friends, robbed her home and beat the shit out of her. So it's hard for me to, I get where she's going with that. I mean, she has a right to have that opinion based on his background. If you took the Chauvin situation out of the equation and just knew what he had done with the assaults and rape allegations and things like that, then I guess you know what I'm getting at. It doesn't say you didn't know about the Derek Chauvin thing. I'll play devil's advocate, and you just knew about his background of holding a pregnant woman, hostage at gunpoint with a gun to her belly, while raping and pillaging her apartment, and possibly her. I don't know the whole story. Obviously a lot of that stuff, as gets sealed. I guess that's how I look at that too. Do two wrongs make a right? No, but was he a piece of shit? Absolutely. So it's like, I don't know. It's like hard for me to stick up for either one of those guys, Derek Chauvin or George Floyd.
Well, without sticking up for him, don't stick up for him at all. There's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Okay. The other day, I took massive shit on social media because somebody had put out a video of a mother and her two children trying to gain entry into the United States. And I don't know if they were at a point of entry or whatnot, but she's crying and this and that and blah, blah. And I simply said, sorry, no sympathy. That's what I said. The amount of, dude, I've gotten because when you're not connected to people, the messages go right to your requests and whatnot. I've got people fucking wishing my mother was dead, which is ironic because she is fucking dead. Well, she is dead. So I'm like, you got your wish. I got people who are, this is in the last 2 weeks. It's got 5,000 likes to that comment. And the amount of, I hope it happens to your daughter. I hope you die, all this kind of shit. And it blows me away how people do not understand the difference between sympathy and empathy. Now, I don't have a fucking ounce of sympathy for George Floyd. I don't. I don't have an ounce of sympathy for any human being on the fucking planet in any circumstance whatsoever. Empathy is a different story. Let me pull up the definition, the textbook definitions here. Sympathy. The definition of sympathy is feelings of pity and sorrow for somebody else's misfortune. Now, but do you have any sympathy for George Floyd?
Me? No.
Yeah, I don't have a fucking ounce of it. Let's look at what empathy means. Empathy. Empathy definition is the ability to understand and share feelings of another. George Floyd, now I don't think you've ever held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach or raped them. I doubt that highly. Is it a possibility, and I'm going to stretch the shit out of this.
Okay.
Is there a possibility you could empathize with the struggles of life in general that could put somebody on a path to turning into a fucking piece of shit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you could definitely, there's lots of, I've got friends that have came up in rough situations. So I think it's definitely possible that, you could absolutely say that, people are, living in areas and things where they just are in a revolving door of suck. Is that fair?
It does. You have a trauma, major trauma that you just went through, correct?
Correct.
Major physical trauma. And sadly, the problem with you is you're one of those weird fucks that I don't care. Life could throw you the biggest shit curve on the planet, and you're going to be just 100% nonstop positive. I have no sympathy for your positivity because you're a fucktard, but you are not somebody ever that I know of that wallows in misery. However, that trauma, if it happened to somebody else, could you not imagine? Could you picture a professional athlete that had to go through what you went through, lost their leg, and all of a sudden, and they're like 20 years old, right? Just about to sign with the NFL, and they're going to not finish college, go right in the NFL and make millions. All of a sudden, something like what happens to you happens, you lose their leg, and that put them on a path to turning into the biggest piece of shit on the planet because of depression, all that crap. Could that potentially happen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do I have my, you got it set up. We're good. I have empathy for what George Floyd went through. Problem I have with Juanita Broderick is she posts that he hopes he burns it or stuff, whatever. What is he's? I hope that SOB rots in hell. I can't stand the Christian hypocrisy. And I don't know if she is one, but the number of people who are kind of like supporting her in her reply section are repeating and supporting that sentiment. The Christian hypocrisy is what I have a problem for. If people truly knew what hell was like according to the Bible, you would not wish it on anyone, nor are we commanded to. We're commanded, sadly, to forgive fucks like George Floyd. It just, in this time where we have like the Palestine people or Hamas threatening to rape and murder our wives and children, what is the difference between somebody from Hamas saying, burn in hell USA, rape their wives and children, enslave them all, versus us as Christians saying, oh, I hope they rot in hell? I don't see there's any difference in that. I really don't.
Yeah, no, I don't either. And, but I mean, I also, I look at Matthew 5:45, the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. So, I mean, I'm kind of indifferent on this thing. I mean, the Bible has a lot of different things that it talks about. Good things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to good people, and the good book talks about that. And I'm one of those people too, where you talk about empathy. This experience that I've been through has basically told me, that the majority of people that I knew personally, that live in the same town, that I've known for most of my life, don't give a shit about me, if that makes sense. They could absolutely give two shits about me. And people that don't live in my town, that have became really close in my life, like people like, yourself and and a Pastor Brian Gibson and a Pastor Greg Locke, and I'm just throwing some names around, but they literally, you guys, and there's others too, a Gunther Eagleman, a Chad Caton, you guys have became my family over the last 5, 6, 7 years, right? And have literally, the best way I can word this, you guys have literally been there for me, meant more to me than people that I thought would be there when I was laid up in a hospital for damn near 30 days.
Yeah, do that or run for office. You're going to get the exact same experience about who winds up sticking around and who leaves.
Right. No, 110%. And so that's one of those things where, and we got the spaces going. My bad for getting it late, guys. I literally dropped a damn gallon of tea at the door and was trying to reel it in, and had to use like a fishing pole and part of my penis. And it was a rough experience, but so if you're just now joining us, we're up in
deep waters today.
Yeah. No doubt, man. And so we got the spaces up and running. That's my fault that it's, that we're running behind today.
I'm going to start telling Matt the show starts at 11:45 so he can, get there.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I was literally, like I told you, I said, I'm just rolling back with some tea. And of course, maybe I shouldn't text and drive.
That's okay.
Right?
Listen, I'm just bitching, right? I don't know.
No, you're good. You didn't even pick up my text and drive joke with a wheelchair.
I did. Man. I got your one with the other day with the broad saying, where am I supposed to sit? And you just scurrying off. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah. That was a true story, by the way.
I believe. I don't think you ever feed me bullshit. I just have a problem with it. I think maybe because it's like there were times where I am a massive piece of shit, and I put this up there. It's like it was ironic. The Bible study I did with over the weekend was talking about confessing your sins, right? And I think it was 1 John 9. 1 John 1:9, I think we were at, and I don't have my Bible in front of me, and confess your sins, blah, blah. And I have no problem confessing my sins, right? I have no problem stating, and I put up a big post on social media. Actually, I'll read it verbatim, what I put up on social media, because this shit pisses me off. If you're a Christian, if you are which again, I refuse labeling myself as a Christian. I can't stand it anymore because of how fucked up the whole Christian faith is. You have to believe that I don't care if it's Hillary Clinton, I don't care if it's Joe Biden, I don't care if it's Adolf Hitler. If you truly believe and are saved, you have to accept the fact that there's a possibility Adolf Hitler could be sitting in heaven right now. That he could be on his last fucking dying breath going, oh my God, what did I do? I accept Christ as my savior. Because if you're not, if you're limiting to it, then you're limiting God, saying he has no, he doesn't have the ability to forgive everybody their sins. And then you're judging about whose sin is fucking better or not. My post.
Yeah, one sin doesn't outweigh the other. You know, we know that if you've read your Bible.
Thank you. That's my fucking point. Here's my post from the other day. Any Christian wishing George Floyd to be burning in hell, add me to your prayer list for the same destination. I've fucked countless married women, broken up marriages, lied, cheated, slandered my fellow man. I've emotionally abused many and spewed hatred towards those who have opposed me. I'm no different than George Floyd. And can absolutely acknowledge that my sins are just as disgusting in the eyes of the Father as his and yours are. But I'm not going to hell, and I would never pray that my worst enemy send themselves there. I'm saved, and my prayer is that he was too, as well as you. And it's amazing how many people think that I'm bragging about something. I'm using the proper language, right? There's a difference between saying, I've slept with married women, and acknowledging, no, I've fucked married women, dude. And it's not, right. I'm not proud of it. But I'm going to own up what the fuck I've done to it. And the amount of people who did slide in my DMs saying, well, I'm not the same as George Floyd. I've never held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. It's like, dude, you don't get it. This may be why we're lost in the Christian faith, because we're too fucking self-righteous. That's my rant for today.
I think it's a combination of the two, also, Dominic, they also think, that Jesus wasn't political, which nothing could be further from the truth. They killed him because he was fucking political. I mean, it's he was going after the Pharisees and going after the rabbis and people like that for not doing right. So I mean, it's when you talk about the Christian faith, and it's a that conversation, you've got one side that doesn't want to forgive and another side who wants to sit on their hands and be pussies. And it's just a bad combination of not understanding your Bible and not understanding Christ. And so that's a whole, that's a whole can of worms. I don't think you're wrong at all. That is why the faith is so, and misconstrued and misinterpreted. And got Chad Caton, who's host of I'm Fired Up, one of the great shows out there on the internet, social media, is in our group chat as well here on X Spaces. And, just want to give Chad a shout out there real quick, Dominic, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think you're spot on with that assessment. I mean, I can't argue with it, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to, but it's it's amazing to me how so many people just don't understand the Bible. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm a damn theologian and understand the Bible or anything, trust me, I'm no pastor or anything like that, but I have my beliefs, and my beliefs are that our side sits on their hands and does nothing at times when they should, and then also doesn't show empathy or compassion when they, it's a double-edged sword, and we're terrible on both ends. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we like to be Christian Karens who you'll post something and you'll use the word fuck. And then, with my $3 off, may I speak to your manager haircut, I'm going to go, excuse me, Matt. And then I'm going to quote scripture from 2 Thessalonians, 9:5. I don't even know if there's a second one. I probably mispronounced that one. And then I'll write the whole scripture verse in there. And then I'll do the backhanded, listen, brother in Christ, which fucking makes my skin crawl when anybody says that shit. Or, no, look, I love you and I just want to help you. No, you don't know me. You don't fucking know me. Don't say you love me. I can't stand that shit. The hypocrisy is insane. And I think that social media made Christianity even worse because it's a time to show off how much more Christ's light shine from us versus it representing his fucking glory. I was shocked. I was shocked. This man is dead. I couldn't give a rat's shit if a group of people from Minnesota have a George Floyd statue, and they all take turns masturbating in front of it and anointing it with their fucking jizz, being like, oh, let's all worship Saint Floyd. I don't give a fuck. The man's dead, or whatever conspiracy theory you want to base it off of. He's not. Chauvin's a piece of shit. It blew me away that conservatives are, yeah, I don't believe in taking the high road, at a certain point, but I think there's got to be a certain type of person that represents a movement, like Juanita Broderick has far more of a pull than I do. Dude,
Right.
Stay in your fucking lane. Going on and saying on the guy's birthday, it looks racist and it looks shitty. On George Floyd's birthday, you're saying you hope that son of a bitch rots in hell? You're a fucking crusty old southern white bitch who, to be honest, I want no association of, because that's Christianity that we want to be around. So that just pissed me the fuck off when I read that tweet.
Well, yeah, but I mean, then I can open up the devil's advocate and be like, well, we're supposed to forgive. You see what I'm getting at?
Of course.
Like, we can play this. It's like playing spin the bottle with a group of dyslexic blind folks. It's going to be a mess. And I'm going to pivot for you like we do here in the bedroom. I'm going to pivot here for a second, and go into, some of the stuff, that you've talked about this in the past, and it goes into, people just not necessarily running their mouth or popping off, but when we talk about people on social media that just say insane, off the wall, ludicrous shit, I've got friends on the ground over in the Middle East, some singleton operators, and I've got folks that are, that have seen some stuff that's happened over there. Now, the decapitation of babies, you and I've had that talk.
Yeah.
They've walked that back a little bit, so to speak. But, there are many children that were murdered. There were many that were burned alive. I've got friends that have confirmed that are on the ground over there. And so, it's a horrible thing. But it's one of those things where I've got people that are, here's the thing with this. If you're a Christian and you read the Bible, you either believe what the Bible says or you don't. Is that fair?
100%.
Okay. And so for me, and like I said, I'm not trying to stoke the fires here on this whole situation over in the Middle East. You either believe what it says or you don't, or like you said, you're a hypocrite, right? I mean, that's just fair. And so those of us who believe what the Bible says, there's enough. The Bible speaks on this that the Israelis are God's chosen people. If you don't believe that, then that's on you. But the Bible is clear on this. It's not up for discussion. And so when I've had people debate me, oh, that's they're anti-Semitic dipshits, and they're like, oh, that's bullshit. I'm like, is it bullshit? Because it's really not bullshit. And and the Bible talks about this, very, very, very clearly in multiple Bible verses, if you will, right? Mm-hmm. And so, as a Christian, the way I was raised, we're raised that they're God's chosen people. Now, I think there's, and I'm trying to think of the best way to possibly word this, so to speak, right? And but there's different things. I've had people go, oh well, Biden released that money to the Iranians, that $6 billion, and that caused the attack. Iran's got a $70 billion surplus. They didn't need the $6 billion from, the diaper dandy to carry out this attack.
Dude, they're fucking leaders living in Dubai. I don't think they're hurting.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. So people just throw all of this nonsensical bullshit around, like it's fact. Oh, that $6 billion. Trust me, no one hates Joe Biden probably more than I do as far as his policies and empty shelves and mandates and he's worst president since Jimmy Carter, maybe worse. But you have to look at this stuff and go, okay, well, is this accurate? Is it not accurate? And some of this is just people are just spewing nonsense. You've got one group that literally has turned into an we hate the Jews group in this country. It's unreal where this country is at as far as this whole situation goes. But the Bible's clear about this. Deuteronomy 7:6-8 talks about God's chosen nation being Israel. And so if you're a Christian in America and you believe that, and you believe what Jesus said in the Bible, then we kind of have a duty here as Christians to back them up a little bit. Now, does that mean there's not pro-Israeli propaganda? Absolutely. There's pro-everything propaganda, Dominic, when this kind of shit happens. There's pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, pro-Israeli, but it happens. And so just because there's propaganda being slung around left and right doesn't mean that these atrocities didn't happen to a degree. But I agree with what you've been saying. I have a point to someone to land this damn thing. The point is, we have to do due diligence. We have to do research. We have to, we literally have to, you can't just make the allegation that something happened without proof. And I thought you did a really good job the last week or so saying your piece on that and explaining that to folks.
That's the same thing as if I went to your neighbor's house and they said, Matt Couch took a shit on my lawn. Okay. And I just, without asking them for any proof whatsoever, went over and just, put you in cuffs. It's like, wait a second, you can do it. Do you have any evidence? No. But your neighbor said so. That's how we are right now. And that's right. People are comparing, and I want to go a different direction after the break, because people are saying, well, what about you? You're up there saying X, Y, and Z. I try to be responsible for my shit and my posts all the time. Like if it was me, and if I was Juanita Broderick's PR person, I would say, you know what? This is how I would word your tweet. In my sentiments on George Floyd's birthday, I hope the sorry son of a bitch rots in hell. Ellipsis, which is those 3 periods at the end of a statement saying that your thought is going to indicate. And I would say, that's the emotional side of me that is angry for what he did. Although I never met the man, I highly doubt she met him, unless she was out there searching for BBC one night in a fucking, Michigan or Minnesota brothel.
Unless she was, running for her life in a Somali district ran by Ilhan Omar.
Why not? Why not? But that's how I feel. However, I know I'm commanded to love and pray for him. That's how you fucking do that. You wind up saying that it's your emotional statement. You can't be in a position of influential power like she is and flat out say, I hope the son of a bitch rots in hell, if you are any association with the faith. That's my fucking bitch on that. And, yeah, I'm just fine with it. All right, let's pay some bills. It is Monday here at the Rants of Izzo on Spreely Media. What does that mean? It means we have a whole week coming at you with Matt Couch spilling his tea, but smelling sweet in the process. Matt's going to walk outside and hummingbirds, bees, and ladies of the evening are going to want to lick his clothing.
It's like a Disney classic.
Why wouldn't it be? You can go to rantsofizzo.com to support the show and sign up all the way down at the bottom of the page for the email list. You just put your email in there. You'll get notified with news articles, with products that we have like teas and coffee and non-vaccinated, non-mRNA beef, all that shit. You missed the show? Are you listening on this Twitter Spaces shit and you're like, I want more, better production value? What is going on here? You can listen or watch at rantsofizzo.com, or you can download the Freedom Hub app for your smartphone and consume us there. We're live every Monday through Friday, noon Central, 1 Eastern. Matt Couch, plug your stuff, brother.
Absolutely, man. You can find the latest news that's not fake at the DCPatriot.com. That's the letter the DCPatriot.com, the DCPatriot.com. And of course, if you want to get some amazing swag like Wokeness Breeds Weakness or FAFO in a small town, go to faithandfreedoms.com. That's faith, the letter N, freedoms.com. That's my apparel brand over there, where we make liberals cry every single day.
Yeah. You better start patting some on the back here. All right, whatever, because that'll fucking stink on ice. All right. Now, I'm going to put this disclaimer out there as we continue into the next segment here. This is not, I'm going to repeat this properly. Ladies and gentlemen, who are about to continue into the second half of the show here, these words and opinions of the show continuing on are not Matt Couch's. They are Dominic Izzo's. Not Matt Couch's, Dominic Izzo's. Keep that in mind. If you can't separate the two, you're a fucking brain-dead cunt and don't need to be listening to the show. Okay. That is the disclaimer. And the reason I say that is because...
Damn, are we going to talk about if size matters? This is going to get interesting.
How tall are you?
No, I'm just talking about height. No. I had a chick tell me this is where I need the guru that is Dominic Izzo's mentor.
No, we're not. No. We're not doing this. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because if Stacey Dash listens to this, you're going to ruin your chances. I keep telling you, dude, You're putting up
Yeah.
your vulnerability
Okay.
side that you shouldn't. Matt Couch.
No. She asked me if she said she told me
shit.
size matters. Okay.
Fucking ridiculous. How tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, you're 5'10", I'm 5'7". You're Irish. You get some Irish in you, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've got quite a bit of Irish in me. In fact, I'm so Irish that the Boondock Saints used me for a cover photo.
Dude, you've got a fucking haggis between your leg and your other thing. Don't worry about it. All right. Now, these are not my words because I don't want people who are brain dead associating, or excuse me, these are my words, not Matt's. I don't want them going, oh, well, Matt Couch said this and this shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to play the clip first. Then I'm going to sit there and assess it. I'm going to play it. Here we go.
Ron DeSanctimonious has the poll numbers of a wounded bird falling from the sky. It's pretty sad to watch. I am up on him by more than 57 points, and it's going higher and higher every day. He is proven to be a terrible and inept candidate who even fought Social Security and Medicare, wanted to raise the minimum age to 70. He will soon be out of money and dropping out of the race for president after having single-handedly gotten him elected governor with no thanks or glory. It has been a beautiful thing to watch him not do so well. So I say good luck, Ron, but I think you're pretty much finished. The people aren't buying what you're saying, and we have to unify our party, get everybody together. The debates have been a disaster, the lowest rating that there's ever been for debates. The lowest rating ever, think of that. We have to unify our party, and we have to focus on beating crooked Joe Biden. We have to focus on making America great again. Thank you very much.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you to take a different position from this.
Okay.
I agree with Trump saying we need to unify the party and we need to defeat crooked Joe Biden. As a American voter, as somebody who did vote for Trump, as somebody who, if he does get if there is no obstruction to his voting or to his running, I will vote for him again. I clearly do not see another candidate opportunity that I would support. I'm fucking sick of his shit.
You're upset with Daddy Trump?
I am sick of the Donald Trump fucking show. We have Israel and Palestine at war. Gas prices fucking suck. Prices of eggs suck. The world's falling apart over here. The border's being invaded. And Trump can't stop his bullshit. Ron's the sanctimonious, talking about how it's pleasant to watch Ron fucking fail. Dude, I don't care if every rhino out there is running. They'll expose themselves, run on your merit, run on your ability, run on what you did do successfully, run on what you're going to do. This fucking shit Trump show is really getting annoying. And he's not going to lose my support, but he's losing my fucking, my praise for him because he's acting like it's all about him. So I put up the other day, because again, we got people all the time, and this is why I'm separating them from you, because you have a ton of MAGA followers, ton. So this is not your words.
I've got a personal relationship with the president.
Yes, you do.
Too,
but you've never put him up on a pedestal. You never have. I stated America first does not mean Trump first, and that's going to piss a lot of you off. I lost nearly.
No, I saw your post. I thought it was good, and
I lost nearly 1,000 Instagram followers in fucking 24 hours. I'm tired of his shit. Is my point.
Well, and most people agree with that. I mean, guys like myself, Chad Caton, Eric Matheny. A lot of us have said that. It's not like we're not the only ones. We've always. You have to look at it like this. If this is how I always look at it, Trump is the vessel. He's not the movement. Okay, people have to understand that. Donald Trump is the vessel. He is not the movement. And but he's been so good to my family. I think he's very misunderstood. Don't get me wrong. There's times where something will be said. I'm like, and I kind of grit my teeth and I roll a nut, because I'm like, I wish I hadn't seen that. But that's who he is. You roll the dice. It's like, everyone's got their flaws in life, me included. But at the end of the day, the whole Ron DeSantis thing. Here's the thing. I agree with there's your take on the DeSantis thing, and I'm not disagreeing with it to a degree. But there's also the fact that what most people don't understand, Dominic, is the GOP is so fucking corrupt. And if they were even remotely serious, if the GOP with Ronna McDaniel, Mitt Romney's niece, were even remotely serious, every one of these worthless loser clowns, from Ron DeSantis to Vivek Ramaswamy, or Vivek, however the hell you say his name, to Chris Christie when he's not at a Golden Corral fondue fountain. If these guys should all drop out of the race, they're behind by 50 to 60 fucking points in every poll. Joe Biden's behind by 10 to 15 points in every national poll now. So the GOP, every one of these idiots should resign, and the entire push should be behind Trump. But they're a bunch of rhino assholes. Same reason why we still don't have a Speaker of the House, because they're a bunch of clowns who are corrupt to the core. But if I'm just being honest with you, Ron DeSantis should immediately leave the race. Chris Christie Noem. Mike Pence's campaign, it came out today. He's fucking broke.
I don't even know how he's still running with his whole fucking thing he said on Tucker.
Apparently the fly that lands on his forehead, the fly that lands on his forehead cannot pay the bills. So, with that being said, every one of these yeah, they do. They're attracted to shit. You look at Barack Obama, Mike Pence, but at the end of the day, all of these people should bow out. The GOP, the RNC, whatever the hell we're calling it nowadays, should put the full oomph and billions behind Donald Trump for 2024 instead of fighting in big. It's funny. The funny thing is, I saw DeSantis on the rounds yesterday, and he's like, if Donald Trump really wants to be president, he should come out and debate all of us. I mean, who wouldn't want people like Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie telling them that they're idiot sticks? I mean, that
would be something. At the first debate, I was like, all right, I don't think Trump needs to be there. Continuing.
First off, I would not even go debate Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie because it's not worth my time.
No, I get that, but you know what? I'm the voter. I'm the American voter. It's fucking worth my time. So if they're going to come and attack him for shit, and I know how it's going to be, it's all going to be a pig pile on Trump, so that's the problem navigating it. No, you know what? I do want to see him fucking debate people because I know what he did, but I want to know what he's going to do, especially does he still have it in him to shut everybody down like the first time, and does he have it in him to wind up taking the shit that they're going to sling at him? I'm not going to arbitrarily give my support to somebody.
Well, the guy's playing 36 holes. The guy's playing 36 holes of golf, and Joe Biden fell down the fucking stairs again yesterday.
I'm at the point too. I do want age restrictions. I'm tired of fucking 70-something-year-olds running the country. It is ridiculous. I think this country's fucking going to shit. My problem is have some motherfucking stoicism in you. You don't need to act like a child because the problem is whatever base he has, right? I think I put it out there a couple of years ago. Do you remember when that golden Trump statue was built?
The little short one? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually got to see it. It's in 2020. I met the artist who made it. It's from Doral. Yeah.
A golden calf statue, for the love of God, dude. And I'm not going to lie. There are people who they would drink his fucking toilet water if you said so. And that just is what it is. The problem is that mindset, right? Because we needed.
But let me ask you a different question. Would somebody drink Joe Biden's toilet water? And the answer is no.
How much you paying me?
I'm not paying anything, but I mean, people would drink Trump's for free, but they would never drink Joe Biden.
Yeah, you have to buy me for that one. Holy shit. Yeah. The issue I have is, again, you don't want
to have Metamucil and some taint on your tongue.
Fuck it. I had coffee. Don't make me throw up. The problem is if you're going to get such stoked passion over something, because picture this. All right, let's paint the worst case scenario whatsoever. You get 2024 comes and the army of these illegals here, they do exactly what some of us think they're going to do. They shut down polling stations. All of a sudden, without even campaigning, Joe Biden wins. He's got 97 million fucking votes, the most in history. It'll never be matched again. For some strange reason, it happens. If that doesn't set off a war within our country, nothing will. And we're talking entertainment purposes only. We don't want this to happen. The other problem with that is,
full disclaimer to Jim in the van, hypothetical. Yeah. This is a talk show. No one is encouraging violence of any kind. In fact, we would prefer to, make love, not war. Did I cover all that?
Yeah. If you're listening, just pay attention to how Matt masturbates later on through the camera on his phone. That is a fun sight.
like an angry gorilla who lost his banana. Absolutely.
Without an opposable thumb, dude, that's difficult. Anyways, here's the issue I have.
Very tough. Yes.
Here's the issue I have is, God forbid something be set off. Who's running the show, right? you already saw over with January 6th, which was not an insurrection bullshit. It was fucking whatever it was. It was a protest.
Not if you talk to Chuck Schumer. It's an erection every time when he tries to say it.
So let's just say you have many camps all over the world or all over the country who think that you got whatever influencer is running this camp and whatever influencer is doing that one and whatever one that David Harris Jr. is going to wind up selling his fucking t-shirt on for that month and then saying he's a part of. I don't care. When the uprising comes, there's no real clear anything. But you know that Trump has opened the door. If Trump opened the door for people like me to run for office back in 2018, how many people do you think with his continuing rhetoric is he going to open the door for malicious sake, which is a good and bad thing, right? Because we do need people for that role. But when the dust clears, right? When the Patriots stack ass, when it's all said and done, the country's gotten taken back or whatever, what happens? Because those same people who are going to be running the fucking show now in the country are going to be, hey, Matt, yeah, that guy Izzo over there, yeah, he's not flying his Trump flag. Yeah, we got to fucking hang him and set an example. The extremism is going to continue.
You're saying like a reverse brown shirts or something, right?
100%. It's going to continue.
I know what you're putting down. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll make sure you're protected. You'll be under my banner. You're good, buddy.
Oh, I'm going out looking like an aerated lawn, man. I don't give a shit. I think I'm sticking around for that crap. I'm going to be the first charging at the fucking gates so that, if I'm gunned down, it's gunned down in glory.
Dude, I just bought a small villa in Costa Rica. You're good. You can come hang out with us.
Oh, that'd be kind of good seeing broads. The problem I have is with the rhetoric. It's as simple as that, right? We heard about, it was funny when he was insulting North Korea's Kim Jong, your sister's ass, Rocket Man. Right. Yeah, it was funny awesome then, but to be honest, it's getting really old.
But
and as a voter, I'm tired of fucking hearing it.
Well, here's the thing. The Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, President Xi, they fear Donald Trump. They don't fear the Democrats being in power at all. They also will not fear somebody like a Nikki Haley or a Ron DeSantis or someone like that. You want to talk about balls. Talk about sitting at dinner at Mar-a-Lago with Xi Jinping, or how do you say his name is, the Chinese president. Xi, we'll just call him Xi because I'll screw it up if I try to say the whole thing. President Xi, and you're literally sitting there having dinner, and you're like, "Oh, have you tried the duck?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like a Brazilian steakhouse, being brought around with food, and they're shaving off filet mignon and shaving off ribeye and all this shit, and putting it on plates with it." And President Xi of China's got his whole delegation there. President Trump's got his team there. He's the president of the United States. They're literally sitting beside each other, laughing, joking, talking. She had a glass of wine or whatever. Trump doesn't drink, so he's got his Diet Coke. And all of a sudden, imagine when Xi's advisor walks over, Dominic, and whispers in his ear, by the way, and I can't speak Chinese, so there's no Mandarin coming out here. I'm not even going to try it. But it's like, and basically it's like, Mr. President, just want to let you know, the United States just launched 59 cruise missiles and attacked Syria. Imagine sitting next to another president who is your adversary and literally blowing the shit out of another nation while you're having dinner together. There's not a bigger alpha move that's ever happened in the history of the American president.
That's neither here. That's action.
No,
that's action done.
It is.
Shut the fuck, not you, but shut the fuck up about Ron DeSantis. He's punching down. That's the problem I have is punching down.
I agree with that. Now, I'll tell you this. I think exponentially the campaign thought DeSantis was a threat, and there has been an effort by not just the campaign, but many influencers who back the president to make sure that Ron DeSantis' campaign never got off the ground. They knocked off the front wheel of the plane. They knocked off the back wheels.
He debated like shit. He just was not impressive.
They graffitied the plane. They embarrassed the people around him, from his press secretary to his chief of staff. And Ron DeSantis is done. Stick a fork in him. He's done. It's over. President Trump, and here's another thing nobody's talking about. This guy's been in Iowa more in the last month than he was in all of 2015 and 16. He means business this time around. It is absolutely personal. It's personal against the GOP. It's personal against the Democrats. It's personal against the deep state. And I think it's gonna. I think people
personal.
Are gonna be very,
is it personal
very
for him? Is it personal for him or for us? Because last time I checked, he works for me.
He does work for you, but here's the thing. They have tried to destroy his family. They've tried to put his kids in jail.
That's the choice. Work for office. You run for office. Even if you run, anybody who knows you run for office, they destroy you. They try to do your best.
But it's easier said than done. We've never seen a president indicted 4 times on bullshit charges. We've never seen a mitigated effort by the media and another political party to silence and arrest, the number one candidate there is. He's leading Biden.
Then let your voters go to the back for you. You know what? Here's the other problem too, is I have with this shit. We are all full of shit, dude. We are full of fucking shit as air quotes patriot. So, and I'm going to put myself in that category because I'm not willing to do some of the stuff that I say. Every one of those boat riding, MAGA flying, flag waving people who are just obsessed with Trump, right? If they really went to bat for him, they should have stood, barricaded, blocked the entry of every fucking point of entry for the building where he got booked at. They should have all gone. Was it New York? They should have gone to New York. They should have formed a wall. They should have not let any cop come between them too. And law enforcement, fuck all of them, because they just shit the bed on that one. You're never gonna get a more pro police president on that when they turn their back on him, right? So right. As Americans and as patriots, see, Trump, I appreciate you're taking the hits, but at the same time too, I took the hits when I ran for office, and it sucks. And it made my fucking family sick to their stomach seeing what they went through. People, and it was on a very small scale because it was Chicago, Cook County. It wasn't the nation. But I get it. But I made the choice, right? I knew exactly what I was getting into. He knows what he's getting into a second time. If it's not up to Trump to save, like, here's Cat Turd on Twitter 5 hours ago. Daily reminder, Trump is the only solution. Trump 2024 or lose the country forever. Really? He's the only solution? You got to put some context. In context, he's not the only solution. Sadly, the only solution is fucking pitchforks, torches, AR-15s, and you take the fucking country back. But again, it's so unorganized, I don't know how that could be done. Again, when it boils down to it, if we're going to go to this type of a fight, and this is a fight this time around, if it's this somber and it's this serious, stop the bullshit Trump show. Stop the bullshit Trump show. Stop insulting fucking people.
Nobody's going to do shit on our side of the aisle.
There you go.
Okay, they're just not. I mean, first and foremost, and I want to reiterate here that nobody's advocating for violence or civil war or anything like that. As somebody who's had the FBI in their living room a few days after January 6th, I want to clarify, none of us on this show are advocating for civil war or violence of any kind, because I promise you, people that have never been in combat situations, people that have never had to return fire as I have, or you have, Dominic, or people that have served in our military, all these people that are clamoring and screaming for civil war, most of them have no clue what they're asking for.
No.
It's a big difference when you fight a war on somebody else's continent, somebody else's country. But when you try to bring that here, where it's affecting your children, your spouse, your brothers and sisters, your grandparents, and those people start dying, like happens when we go in America and the war machine wages war in other countries, it is a completely different monster. And most people have never been in those situations. I've unfortunately worked enough details that I've taken fire, returned fire. On top of that, I've been in tornado zones. I was on the ground in Joplin, Missouri within 2 hours after the tornado hitting, with hundreds dead and putting X's on doors for alive or dead. I went to spend 2 weeks with the Cajun Navy for Hurricane Harvey doing rescue efforts and pulling out bodies and dead pets and things. Most people have never done these kind of things in their life. They've never served in the military. They've never been in law enforcement. They've never done any type of efforts like this. And the point I'm trying to make is like, I can't stand the good old boys. It's like, I'll tell you what, nobody's taking my guns, by God. And I'm like, let me get this straight here, skittle nuts. They're lined up in 2x2x2 formation outside your front door with SARS or whatever the hell they're equipped with, and your wife and 2 kids are inside. What? You're not going to do shit.
Do you not get the point that you made is so fucking accurate? And that's my problem. People don't see what he's doing, Trump, right? You're making an extremely valid point. We talked about this last week. You got 2 type of people. You got one type of person who has no idea what the fuck is coming, one type of person who wishes it would come, and then people like me who are terrified. Because if it does come, that means I'm going to become a fucking horrible human being that is going to protect my family at all costs. It's going to change me. I don't want that, right? I don't want that side of me.
There are guys like you. There are guys like you and I and others.
Yes, the most ones who are ready for it are there. Here's the problem.
Do you care if I call on somebody in Spaces here in a second?
No, we're not going to open it up for them. They can't hear anyways. They can't.
Oh, they can't.
No,
okay.
They can't. They can't participate. The problem that we have is we have so many people who have been video gamed, pumped in home, all this shit, no outside real access, that their nonstop stimulation has no channel. It has no channel. I'm going to say this, and I can't do a whole synopsis in the next 2 minutes to do this. When you take away the proper means of expression through art or language or music, the only thing left to do is act out in violence like a fucking frustrated toddler. Do we not see? I'll use Chicago for an example. Chicago public school system is destroyed. You have a 70-something% graduation rate, which means there's a massive portion of children who are growing up without the ability to speak, write, or express themselves. Those same kids are the ones that are fucking shooting other people they disagree with because that pent-up energy is there. You translate that into the fucking white hillbilly suburb area of whatever town USA that has been sitting down watching DC run the shit show forever. They have no relationship between Joe Biden, AOC, anybody else up there. They're in their own little backwoods country, drinking moonshine, fucking their sister. I don't give a shit. Just send video if she's hot. That's fine. And you've got Donald Trump spewing this rhetoric, which is fueling their fucking hatred for the opposition. That's the problem. Run your race, kick ass, save the fucking country, keep your fucking mouth shut. That's the problem I have with Trump. He's making it the Trump show. If he would just knock it off, he'd get my undying support. That's it.
Well, and he's always been that way. He's not going to change. I think people have to understand that. He's going to be who he is. He's been that way. He's 76, I think, something like that. He's been that way. I don't see him changing. But one thing I can say is the man still plays 36 holes of golf almost every day. He's in phenomenal shape for his age. He's very quick-witted. He's intelligent. He will do everything he can to get the economy back on track. He will do everything he can to vamp up our military so that we don't have these problems. And he will damn sure finish the wall. That was the issue that we had last time. It's amazing now that the Biden regime is completely flipped. And now they want to build the damn wall after for 3 years saying, "Oh, walls don't work, walls suck," and now they want to build the damn wall. It's absolutely hysterical. He's been proven right on almost everything that he's said and done. And but I agree with you. I mean, there's people that that have problems with how he talks and what he says, and I get it. And everyone has a right to feel that way. There's times where even I cringe. I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know if I went that far," when something is said. But at the end of the day, I just think, it's one of those situations where, this thing is not going to get any better. And once again, I'm not trying to preach to you, but if you believe in the Bible, if you believe in Jesus Christ, there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. This is going to, we're where we're at. This is, unfortunately, our society is decaying. We've allowed the LGBTQ plus divided by 37 times 18 equals whatever nonsense to try to take over our lives. We're allowing them to infiltrate the public schools. And that's the real thing. If you really want America to change, damn, I didn't want to go political. Here we go. If you really want America to change.
We've been going political for the last 35 minutes.
I know. But I've been just kind of entertaining and taking it all in.
Send us home. You got 20 seconds.
20 seconds. School choice. You really want America to change?
No, that'll never go through because it fucking works.
But it's the only.
I don't even have kids.
America.
I don't even have kids, and fucking I know that one.
Well, it's worked here in Arkansas because Sarah Huckabee Sanders, our governor, got it done.
She should run. She should run. You know what? Fuck her for not running for president. She should have.
Hey, I know she should have. Well, and
she should. Then you tell her to run for president.
It's coming. Sensei. It's coming. I promise you.
I would vote for her in a heartbeat.
But school choice is the only way you fundamentally change America. You've got to get into the school boards, and you've got to get into the state legislatures, and you've got to make it to where the parents have the choice. You can go ahead and send them to public school if you want little Johnny to play where you played quarterback, or you can put him in a Christian private school or charter school. and that money now is in your hands, like on a damn EBT card, Dominic. And then the parents now have control over that money instead of the federal government. I think that's the only way you fundamentally save America.
Matt Couch, 2028.
Yeah, I may go after Tom Cotton in 26.
Couch 2020. Oh, well, there. Shit, that'll be interesting. We'll do that one. All right, kids, it's Monday. Listen, you got an opinion you want to share with us? Call 708-982-0974. 708-982-0974. Leave a voice note. Leave a voice message. Leave a text message. We'll play it on the air tomorrow, and we can hear what your opinion is about this whole issue. Have a great fucking day. Don't forget to go to Spreely.tv. Check out the rest of the show lineup for the afternoon and night. Go to rantsofizzo.com to support the show. Do not forget, politics sucks, is what it is. You want to change your life, you want to help yourself, help somebody else. It's the fastest damn way to wind up helping somebody else. It is what it is. And if you can't help them, just don't fucking hurt them. Say goodnight, Matt.
Hey, good night, everyone. Stay in the spaces if you're in there. I'll be in just a second, everyone.
He's going to be nude later.
Oh, hey, can you call me the mayor of social media?
You are the mayor of social media. All right, we'll see you guys.
Gives me a chub.